Okay, so I've chosen this subject of this Suffolk lane just around near Martlesham, and first of all going to pencil out the main lines. I've chosen to do this in a landscape format, so what I have to think about is where the centre of interest, and basically I'm going to have a tree and a lane coming this way, so it's basically a third from the right and a third up will be my centre of interest. So I'll start penciling in the lane here, so that's the end of the lane. Coming round, I won't have too many pencil marks. It's basically, I want to do most of this using the brush when I do the painting. Drawing with the brush basically. So these will just give me the scale that I need to set out the key features. So here's the lane coming round. Just not quite to the edge of the paper there. That will add the perspective of the lane as it comes round. The distance, and what we'll have is just quickly draw some figures there. We'll have a few figures walking down the road just to give a sense of scale, showing some distance there. So what we've got here is a bank coming up, distant trees, and there'll be the main focus will be this large tree just on the top here. Some will be coming from the left, so bear that in mind as we do the painting, all the shadows will be falling left to right. There's a fence that will be put in here near the end, but I just pencil roughly where the fence posts are going. Not too straight, so I want to show that they're very old fence posts. There will be some closer mid-distance trees here, and I will put them on afterwards, but what I want to get here is a suggestion of a mid-distance tree on the right. So I'm just showing one further mid-distance tree here, just to give a bit more interest behind where the two figures are, and there'll be some shadows on them later to make that stand out. Key thing here, I want to get these branches. This was a big tree, so I'm working here based on a sort of combination of memory and from a sketch that I did at the time. But key thing is not to have these branches too symmetrical. Make it very realistic where they start thicker, the branches, and go thinner as they come out. So I'm adding some more branches in here. What I'm thinking about here is I want the overall shape not to be symmetric, but I want it to be the scale that the tree was. So I'm starting wider, remembering that branches cross over and they also come towards you, so the perspective gets quite interesting as the branch, this one here that I'm doing, is coming right towards us. So there's a lot of foreshortening there. I'll build the detail. Okay, so we've got the drawing. That's really enough drawing for this painting. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put an underpainting of raw sienna. I'm mixing my raw sienna here. The reason I'm doing this, that this will give a glow, as watercolour is transparent medium. Try and make sure I use all transparent pigments. By putting this sort of undercoat and I wash right across before I start the main washes, it will hopefully give this effect of light on I want like a sunny day. So I'm making sure, spending time mixing up enough paint, because I don't want to be putting this wash on and then running out of paint halfway through. So what I'm doing here is bearing in mind that this yellow, this is a raw sienna, which is a very transparent yellow, making sure that I've got it to the right colour, the tone that I want, because it tends to dry about 40% lighter than how it mixes and how it first applied. So I want to get this right in one wash, so it's worth spending a bit of time mixing the paints. So here we go. So this is going to be a wash all over. Start at the top, work down right to the edges. Doesn't matter if I miss the odd piece here and there. What I've found is not to use too many different colours really, because what really matters is the tonal contrast between the different colours. So the main thing I'll use is like bluer greens for the distance and more yellowy bright greens in the foreground. So that gives the illusion of your distance. That's a bit I'll be doing next, really, putting the distant trees in. But
presumably now you're waiting on that drying.
Yeah, I must wait now and let this completely dry before I carry on. Right, so what I'm doing here, I'm just adding a few lines here, because this will be a bank that's coming down to the road edge. So I'm not really drawing it all in, but just reminding me of the angle that I will want to suggest with paint. Put this small tree here just to balance the painting, so it's not all weighted towards the right hand side. Hopefully that will give a nice balance. It will be very understated. I don't want it to stand out, and just put a smaller sapling sort of next to it. They will be very lightly painted in. Also, all these areas here of this bank, that the objective of them is really just to take your eye through to where this centre of interest is, which is just around this area here, these people and the tree here. So less detail here, the eye comes up, bit of texture on the tree, people there, bit of detail around the bank near the people. Again, this is a bank going up, but it will just be some clear washes, because I don't want your eye to stay there. I want your eye to go in through to the centre of interest.